Try to break this glass, please. Yeah. Sure? Yeah. Oh my fucking God. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
Yes, you heard that right. Tesla has shut down its Cybertruck production and is demanding a return of all Cybertrucks. The decision, made without warning or explanation, has left over 28,000 customers scrambling for answers and ignited a firestorm of speculation across the industry. What was once hailed as Elon Musk's most daring innovation, a futuristic stainless steel beast marketed as bulletproof and indestructible, is now being pulled off roads worldwide under a cloud of silence. Was the Cybertruck ever truly road safe? Or has Tesla been hiding a catastrophic design flaw all along? Today, we'll unveil all the facts. You won't want to miss out on any of this. The dream versus reality. When Elon Musk first unveiled the Cybertruck on the 21st of November 2019 at Tesla's design studio in Hawthorne, California, it was a spectacle that perfectly embodied Musk's penchant for theatrics and disruption.
Come on, more speed! Wait. Why do I care? Yanni wasn't so on it. Those plaids are off.
The truck's debut, streamed live and watched by millions, was pitched as a declaration of war against conventional automotive design. With its sharp-edged, cyberpunk-inspired exoskeleton made of ultra-hard, 30x cold-rolled stainless steel and Tesla armor glass, the Cybertruck was marketed as the vehicle of the future, one that could outmuscle a Ford F-150, outpace a Porsche 911, and even withstand a sledgehammer or small arms fire. Musk proudly declared it to be literally bulletproof, a line that instantly captured headlines and social media attention. But despite the dramatic design and bold promises, the public spectacle faltered the moment Tesla's head of design, Franz von Holzhausen, shattered the unbreakable glass windows on stage. How ironic. Well, this moment foreshadowed the unraveling that would follow years later. The Cybertruck was not just a vehicle, it was a symbol. Pre-orders surged past 250,000 within a week of its unveiling, buoyed by the promise of a vehicle that could be had for a relatively affordable some $39,900 for the base model, though top-end trims would push well beyond $80,000. With some customized versions exceeding $100,000. For years, Musk teased followers with glimpses of prototype models and leaked features, including 4-motor all-wheel drive, rear-wheel steering, adaptive air suspension, and even the potential for solar charging panels and amphibious capabilities. Tesla fans waited with bated breath for the Cybertruck's eventual release, enduring multiple production delays, design revisions, and shifting launch dates. Initially promised for late 2021, the first deliveries didn't occur until November 30th, 2023 at Tesla's Gigafactory in Austin, Texas, 4 years after the initial unveiling. By then, the hype had reached an almost mythical status, with over 2 million pre-orders logged by mid-2023. According to reservation tracking platforms, the Cybertruck was expected to revolutionize both the electric vehicle and pickup truck markets. Tesla even boasted that its Cybertruck production line was unlike anything the industry has seen. But behind the polished showmanship, it was becoming apparent that many of the Cybertruck's promises were not going to materialize. Software instability, poorly calibrated steering systems, braking inconsistencies, and concerning thermal management issues in battery performance. You name it, the Cybertruck had a problem with it. Within months, the dream began to collapse under the weight of its own ambition. By early May 2025, Cybertrucks were being quietly returned or taken off the road. Then, on May 19th, 2025, Tesla filed a notice with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration confirming a voluntary recall of 28,193 Cybertrucks. The reason? A critical throttle pedal malfunction. According to the report, the pedal held in place with what turned out to be a foam pad was prone to becoming dislodged and could get stuck in the fully depressed position, causing unintended acceleration. Several users on social media shared terrifying dashcam footage of near collisions and unresponsive controls. One case in Texas involved a Cybertruck plowing through a residential fence after the accelerator jammed, thankfully without injuries. But the recall notice wasn't the only shock. Tesla also announced a complete halt in Cybertruck production at all its factories, including the Gigafactory Texas, which had been solely dedicated to the truck. While the official statement cited engineering reassessments, internal leaks from Tesla employees suggested something far more serious: a fundamental flaw in the vehicle's design and systems integration that may have evaded quality control due to rushed production schedules and an over-reliance on over-the-air software updates. Critics and auto analysts were quick to weigh in. Morgan Stanley downgraded Tesla's stock, and consumer trust in the brand, which had already taken hits from recalls of the Model S, 3, and X in recent years, reached its lowest point since the company's inception. The Cybertruck recall now ranks among the most expensive in EV history, with early estimates suggesting a $2 billion financial blow, not including potential class action lawsuits or compensation claims. The fall from grace has been swift and jarring. What was supposed to be Tesla's flagship innovation, a post-apocalyptic armored electric juggernaut, has hit a wall of reality that no foam-padded throttle or bulletproof glass can deflect. For many early adopters, the question now is not when the Cybertruck will return, but if it ever should. So what went wrong exactly? The recall, scope, and silence. As noted earlier, on May 19, 2025, Tesla quietly filed a recall notice with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, initiating an immediate extraction of over 28,193 Cybertrucks delivered in the United States from late 2023 through early 2025. But what was buried in the footnotes of that filing, and later corroborated Cybertrucks being towed from driveways and parking lots without any clear communication about what was going to happen next? The financial and psychological blow to customers has been immense. Many Cybertruck buyers were early adopters who had paid upwards of $81,000 to $96,000, especially for the quad motor and Foundation series models. Some had waited over 4 years for delivery after placing pre-orders back in 2019, and many had purchased the trucks through financing plans, leaving them with monthly payments on a product they could no longer drive, sell, or even store. In Texas, a class action lawsuit has already been filed by a group of 117 Cybertruck owners, alleging breach of contract, product liability, and emotional distress, with more legal action expected to follow. Adding fuel to the fire, the NHTSA recall document, publicly available through its recall portal, includes language that many analysts consider unusually vague. The recall summary reads, "Due to assembly inconsistencies, the accelerator pedal pad may shift under extended pressure, potentially causing unintentional acceleration." Nowhere does the filing mention the foam pad. Nowhere is there a specific fix proposed. And most crucially, the timeline of Tesla's awareness of the issue is left out entirely. Safety watchdogs, including Consumer Reports, IIHS, and Senator Ed Markey, are now calling for a formal investigation into whether Tesla deliberately delayed the recall to protect its earnings for the first and second quarters of 2025. To further complicate matters, Cybertruck production at the Gigafactory Texas was officially paused on May 20th, 2025, just 1 day after the NHTSA filing, affecting over 2,000 workers and triggering cascading delays in other assembly lines that were sharing components with the Cybertruck platform. Reuters reported that over $400 million worth of raw materials and unfinished Cybertrucks units are now sitting idle in storage facilities. In Shanghai, where Cybertruck launch plans were underway for late 2025, Tesla has shelved marketing and closed its dedicated Cybertruck preview showroom. The silence from Musk has become deafening. Known for his rapid-fire posts on X, Musk has yet to acknowledge the recall directly, offering only cryptic distractions about SpaceX, Neuralink, and AI safety. Either way, the damage may be irreversible. The Cybertruck, once the boldest vision of Tesla's future, is now the company's most conspicuous liability. So, what does this shutdown mean for Tesla? How big of a setback is it? Global freeze of Tesla's production machine. As noted earlier, on May 20th, 2025, the flagship Giza, Texas facility in Austin, the epicenter of Cybertruck manufacturing, ground to a halt in what employees described as an unprecedented mid-shift lockdown. According to multiple verified reports from internal workers leaked to The Verge and Bloomberg, staff were notified via an internal message at 11:47 a.m., just over 2 hours into the day shift, to immediately stop all operations and report to a stand-down meeting. Forklifts were abandoned mid-haul, welding lines went cold, and assembly robots were powered down. By 3 p.m., all production lines had been sealed off. Tesla later issued a brief statement confirming a temporary production pause, but offered no timeline or reason. This halt could not have come at a worse time for the company. Giga Texas, which was inaugurated with much fanfare by Elon Musk on April 7, 2022, was not only the primary manufacturing site for the Cybertruck, but also Tesla's biggest logistical gamble since the Model 3 expansion in 2017. The Austin plant had undergone a staggering $1.1 billion expansion in late 2023 to scale up Cybertruck production from 3,000 to 7,500 units per week. Musk heralded this move as Tesla's leap into the utility future. By early 2025, the plant employed over 20,000 workers, many of whom were brought in under state incentive programs, including a $64 million subsidy from the Texas Enterprise Fund. Now, thousands of these jobs hang in limbo. Layoffs have already begun in certain departments. At least 1,200 contractors and temp workers were informed their services were no longer required, with many more expected to be dismissed in the following weeks. But the impact wasn't contained within Texas. The ripple effect was immediate and global. In Grünheide, Germany, Giga Berlin Brandenburg, Tesla's primary hub for European supply chain integration, saw its parts orders for the Cybertruck chassis, battery casings, and aluminum body panels canceled overnight. Assembly lines that had been prepped to begin installing Cybertruck-compatible components for the EU market by the fourth quarter of 2025 are now sitting idle. Hundreds of workers who had recently been shifted from Model Y production to Cybertruck prep were reassigned or sent home with no further guidance. Meanwhile, in Shanghai, Tesla's most productive factory to date, Cybertruck battery and semiconductor shipments bound for Texas were abruptly stopped. Over $170 million worth of inventory was rerouted to holding facilities outside of Ningbo and Shenzhen, signaling a full-scale freeze on trans-Pacific logistics for the Cybertruck program. Perhaps most critically, Tesla's Nevada-based Research and Battery Innovation Center, once a source of pride for its pioneering work on the 4680 battery cell, has suspended all ongoing projects related to Cybertruck-specific powertrains. A joint testing operation with Panasonic was quietly shelved on the 22nd of May, despite having just received $52 million in Department of Energy funding for EV innovation earlier this year. The sudden discontinuation of this line, insiders say, suggests the freeze is not merely a production pause, but a deeper, strategic backtrack from the Cybertruck platform itself. This global production paralysis is a dramatic contrast to the optimism that surrounded the Cybertruck upon its launch. In December 2023, Elon Musk celebrated the official Cybertruck launch event at Giga Texas by personally delivering the first 10 trucks, boasting of bulletproof exoskeletons and range supremacy. That day, Tesla's stock surged by 13.2%, its largest single-day jump since 2020. But today, the stock has cratered by nearly 31%. Since 2020, the May 19th recall announcement, wiping out over $270 billion in market capitalization and shaking investor confidence to its core. Analysts at Morgan Stanley now estimate that Tesla's anticipated 2025 production goal of 250,000 Cybertrucks is no longer viable and could be revised down to zero if a solution isn't found by the third quarter. The shutdown marks the most severe production freeze in Tesla's 21-year history. Not even the infamous Model 3 production hell in 2018, which saw weeks of delays, and manually built cars reached this level of global system failure. Then, Tesla limped forward. Now it has stopped entirely. What was meant to be the company's most ambitious scaling attempt, an angular beast poised to redefine pickup trucks, has become its greatest vulnerability. Tesla's production engine is not only stalled, it's fractured. And with every passing day, the silence from the top only deepens the crisis. The fallout. Chaos inside and out. The fallout of Tesla's unprecedented Cybertruck recall and the global shutdown of its production lines, both inside the company and in the public arena, has been swift, visible, and deeply damaging. Internally, Tesla is contending with a supply chain breakdown of historic proportions. According to leaked internal memos published by Business Insider on May 21, 2025, over $200 million worth of Cybertruck-specific parts, including custom-molded stainless steel exoskeleton panels, adaptive air suspension units, and 4,680 battery packs, are now sitting idle in storage facilities across the United States, China, and Germany. At Tesla's massive Lathrop megafactory in California, which had been repurposed in late 2023 to focus on Cybertruck component staging and logistics, operations have ground to a halt. Third-party contractors involved in parts distribution, such as Flexport and Maersk, have had shipments frozen mid-transit, with some containers stranded at ports in Long Beach and Rotterdam. This logistics paralysis is also impacting Tesla's ecosystem of suppliers. Novelis Incorporated, a major provider of aluminum sheets for Tesla's exoskeleton design, announced on May 22nd that its $35 million Cybertruck-specific supply agreement was now under review, while Samsung SDI, responsible for supplying high-density battery modules, has temporarily paused production output for Tesla's EV line pending clarification from Fremont headquarters. Simultaneously, software partners and chip manufacturers like NVIDIA, whose AI processors were integrated into Tesla's self-driving suite, have gone silent on their ongoing contracts, indicating a freeze in forward development. The company's second quarter supply chain pipeline, which was projected to support over 58,000 Cybertruck deliveries through July 2025, now lies in ruin. Meanwhile, Tesla customers are facing a different kind of nightmare. From Toronto to Berlin, service centers are reportedly overwhelmed with anxious owners trying to return their Cybertrucks, with many facilities unprepared to handle the scale of the recall. Footage from Tesla's Brooklyn Service Center, aired by NBC News on May 20th, showed a queue of Cybertrucks stretching over 5 blocks, with customers complaining of waiting over 6 hours just to speak with a representative. Inside, employees offered little guidance, only a standardized pamphlet instructing owners to cease operation and return the vehicle for safety evaluation. No repair timelines, no loaner vehicles, no refunds. In Phoenix, one frustrated owner, Luis Ramirez, told the Arizona Republic, "It's like they ghosted us. You spend $91,000 on a truck, and they won't even tell you what's wrong with it." That lack of transparency has fueled growing anger online. On X, formerly Twitter, hashtags like Cyberjoke, Tesla Recallgate, and Elon Explained began trending globally.
Fuck that nigga's face.
just hours after the recall announcement. A viral post from tech influencer Marcus Brownlee read, "This is worse than a software bug. This is a hardware collapse. Were we all just guinea pigs?" His post racked up over 3.2 million views within 48 hours, echoing a sentiment that now dominates public discourse. Tesla used early Cybertruck buyers as de facto beta testers, without their consent. Financially, the hit is enormous. Morgan Stanley estimates that the recall and shutdown could cost Tesla $2.6 billion in direct losses by the end of the third quarter of 2025, excluding lawsuits and brand damage. Multiple law firms, including Hagens Berman and Gerard Sharp, have already announced class action lawsuits on behalf of Cybertruck owners, alleging fraud, negligence, and violations of consumer protection laws. The lawsuits cite Tesla's own promotional material that boasted of the Cybertruck's rugged resilience, all-terrain dominance, and military-grade build, claims now under serious legal scrutiny. There is still no recovery plan. Tesla's app displays a red banner under every Cybertruck VIN: "Do not drive, return immediately." The company's resale partners, like Carvana and Shift Technologies, have delisted the vehicle entirely, citing risk liabilities. The once invincible brand is now facing what many call its Titanic moment. But what went wrong? The leak, what really went wrong? Tesla engineers at Giga Texas, Tesla's largest U.S. plant, and the central Cybertruck assembly line raised repeated red flags during late-stage crash testing in January and February 2025, warning that the Cybertruck's stainless steel monocoque body was exhibiting catastrophic impact behavior during frontal and side collision simulations. The problem, according to these memos, lay in two interconnected flaws: the rigidity of the 30X cold-rolled stainless steel alloy, and the failure of adhesive bonding at critical structural junctions, particularly where the roof met the A-pillar and around the rear crush zones. In internal impact tests conducted at Tesla's Austin Crash Lab on January 27, 2025, the Cybertruck failed FMVSS 208 frontal crash safety compliance. Moreover, the data showed that the angular design of the Cybertruck's exoskeleton created uneven force distribution in rollovers, increasing the likelihood of roof collapse or frame distortion in multi-impact scenarios. Engineers submitted a formal safety risk summary to the Giga Texas Quality Assurance Team on February 2, 2025. This 17-page document, codenamed Project Hexagram, outlined how the lack of traditional crumple zones and the inability of the steel skin to deform properly under stress made the Cybertruck fundamentally incompatible with standard safety engineering principles. The report recommended an immediate pause in deliveries, pending a full redesign of the front-end architecture, and suggested that continued rollout would pose significant injury and litigation risk. Shockingly, internal emails reveal that these warnings were dismissed. Instead, the production teams were urged to stay on course for the first quarter, and executives were reminded that reputational momentum is critical this quarter. Another expert, consulting on Tesla's AI and safety systems, commented on the difficulty of reconciling full self-driving, or FSD sensor calibration, with structural anomalies, particularly around the rear fender-mounted LIDAR ports. These warnings, too, were quietly tabled. The consequences were evident almost immediately after launch. On March 22, 2025, a Cybertruck collided with a Ford F-150 in Temecula, California. While the F-150's crumple zones absorbed the shock and the driver walked away with minor injuries, the Cybertruck's passenger cabin buckled unnaturally, causing fractures to both occupants. By April 3rd, Tesla had received over 417 incident reports involving Cybertruck accidents, 82 of which involved significant cabin deformation despite low to moderate speed impacts. Analysts now believe Tesla was bracing for a recall as early as April 10th, despite public claims that all safety systems were meeting or exceeding expectations. The root of the issue, say insiders, was Tesla's insistence on maintaining the Cybertruck's futuristic silhouette and bulletproof frame as a marketing cornerstone, even when safety trade-offs became undeniable. The 30X alloy, while visually striking and corrosion resistant, had 3 times the stiffness of traditional aluminum used in the Model X, yet lacked the energy absorption properties necessary for safe passenger vehicle design. Additionally, the Cybertruck abandoned traditional spot welding for structural adhesives and laser welding, which, under repeated stress and in extreme cold, delaminated in certain vehicles. Making matters worse, several engineers claim they were actively discouraged from pushing concerns up the chain. One former Tesla crash test analyst, who spoke anonymously to Reuters on May 20th, said, "We were chasing a delivery schedule, not a safety benchmark. That was the vibe at Giga Texas." The plant, which ramped to 3 shifts in early March 2025 to meet delivery goals of 40,000 units in the first quarter, sidelined its internal audit cycle, fast-tracking trucks without full quality control sign-off. Now, in hindsight, what looked like a bold leap into the future seems more like a textbook case of engineering hubris meeting corporate pressure. Tesla's internal safety team was overridden. Its design integrity was compromised for aesthetics, and the company's most radical product to date is now facing what may be the most expensive recall in U.S. automotive history, surpassing even Toyota's 2009 unintended acceleration crisis, which cost over $2.1 billion. With federal investigations underway, pending lawsuits, and mass customer betrayal, the leaked Giga Texas memos may ultimately serve as Exhibit A in what legal analysts are calling the most damning evidence yet of negligent innovation. The legal time bomb. By April 2025, the mounting concerns over Tesla's Cybertruck structural integrity escalated from internal warnings to undeniable external validation, and with it, a legal storm of unprecedented magnitude. Independent crash testing agencies, commissioned by consumer watchdogs and several state transportation departments, conducted a battery of rigorous safety tests that concluded that the Cybertruck's structural design was not just flawed, it was dangerously inadequate. These third-party tests, publicly released between April 10th and April 18th, 2025, replicated real-world crash scenarios, including frontal collisions, side impacts, and rollover simulations. The results showed catastrophic failure points consistent with the leaked internal memos from Giga Texas, confirming that the stainless steel exoskeleton and bonding methods failed to meet federal safety standards. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, already probing Tesla since March, immediately referenced these independent test results in their ongoing investigation. On April 15, 2025, NHTSA issued a preliminary statement warning Tesla and the public that the Cybertruck raises significant safety concerns and urged caution in operation and further investigation into production processes. These third-party test failures came after Tesla's own engineers had internally flagged critical issues months earlier. During emergency crisis meetings involving Tesla's board members and executive leadership, legal advisors sternly recommended an immediate and complete halt to Cybertruck production and deliveries, citing the escalating risk of massive product liability lawsuits, regulatory penalties, and even potential criminal negligence charges. Tesla's outside law firms have flagged the situation as one of the most serious automotive legal crises in recent history. What made this legal quagmire especially perilous was not merely the magnitude of the recall, estimated to cover over 46,000 units worldwide, with a projected financial liability exceeding $1.8 billion, but the internal evidence of prior knowledge and ignored warnings. This factor opened Tesla to charges of willful negligence and possible violations of the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Act, which mandates manufacturers to act promptly once safety defects are discovered. The risk now included class action lawsuits from injured parties, potential criminal investigations by the Department of Justice, and regulatory scrutiny that could lead to suspension of federal tax credits and export restrictions. The Securities and Exchange Commission is also examining whether Tesla adequately disclosed these safety concerns and the impact of the recall on its financial statements. Moreover, consumer advocacy groups such as the Center for Auto Safety and Consumers Union have escalated calls for transparency and accountability. Analysts also project that Tesla's stock could face significant volatility, with some forecasting a drop of up to 15%. But this is bigger than 15%. It could be as big as 100%. The bigger picture: Tesla's credibility on the line. Once hailed as the unstoppable pioneer of the electric vehicle revolution, Tesla's image now hangs in precarious balance. The fallout from the Cybertruck debacle calls into question the Q.
Damn! So shiny. I can't wait to stick magnets on mine.
Very ethos that has driven Tesla's meteoric rise and Musk's reputation as an innovator who defies industry norms. Since the Tesla Roadster's debut in 2008, followed by the Model S, Model X, and the game-changing Model 3, Musk cultivated an image of a visionary relentlessly pushing the boundaries of technology. His promises of seamless autopilot functionality, unmatched battery efficiency, and revolutionary manufacturing processes set new standards in the automotive world. The Cybertruck, unveiled in November 2019 with its stark, futuristic design and touted stainless steel exoskeleton, was meant to be the ultimate symbol of Tesla's innovation, combining bulletproof durability with electric efficiency. The anticipation was immense, with over 200,000 reservations reported by mid-2022. And now, this. Analyst firms like Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan downgraded Tesla's outlook, highlighting increased risk factors, including production delays, legal liabilities estimated in the billions, and a potential erosion of Tesla's premium pricing power. Beyond investor jitters, regulatory scrutiny intensified significantly. Federal and international agencies, already wary of Tesla's autonomous driving claims, began examining broader systemic issues, including quality control lapses and corporate governance practices. The U.S. Department of Transportation and NHTSA expanded their probes beyond the Cybertruck to other models, such as the Model Y and the upcoming Roadster refresh. In Europe and China, regulatory bodies have imposed stricter compliance audits, signaling that Tesla could face multi-jurisdictional hurdles affecting both production and sales. The possibility that Tesla's rapid innovation model might be compromising safety standards brought renewed calls for tighter regulatory frameworks. One must also ask, is this a singular misstep or a symptom of deeper cultural and structural issues within Tesla? The Cybertruck recall exposed vulnerabilities that may run far beyond one vehicle. Tesla's aggressive production targets, ambitious global expansion plans, and Musk's demanding leadership style, often described by insiders as a pressure cooker environment, have raised alarms about it. Continues to inspire many. The company now faces the daunting task of rebuilding trust. Tesla's silence over the whole situation has only deepened customer frustration and eroded trust. With no timeline for a fix and only vague instructions for owners to return their vehicles, questions swirl around whether Tesla will issue refunds or redesign the vehicle entirely. The once celebrated Cybertruck, originally hailed as a ground. You like this video? If you did, please consider liking, dropping a comment, and hitting the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on our new uploads. Also, don't miss this video you see on your screen right now. It's truly unbelievable.